Hey friends, it's Nicole, and I'm back with volume 2 of my family reunion scrapbook from our SmithCon 2021, volume 2. So I talked about the cover and my spine choices and stuff in volume 1. If you didn't get a chance to see that, we'll skip that for now. But here's the second title page. If you remember from the last time, I told you I was going to use the same kind of words. This one is smaller, so I was able to fit more squares. So it ties it together. I always like to have a title page. I know some people just go right into the album, but for me, I'm a reader, and so I think that's why I feel like the title page is important. It doesn't have to give a whole lot of information. It gave me a chance to use all the pretty papers in here and even a little piece of the die cut. And I probably need to write something in the front cover, but I struggle with that. I don't know, I don't know what to write. It's all here. So maybe if I didn't do a title page, I could just write it in there, and then I could have this page to scrapbook on. All right. Oh, I did not do the journaling, but I'm going to do the journaling. I left these Post-it notes when I put these on the table at the family reunion for people to help me know what to write about the journaling. And so this is, this is my own story, but I've forgotten to write it. But this is my nephew, Bennett. He was, 6, 7. I don't remember how old he was. But his dad made crepes. My brother lived in France for a couple years, and so he made the crepes for breakfast one morning, and I happened to be sitting across from Bennett and watching him as he started with this crepe that was stuffed full of cream cheese, and he just, it was enjoyable to watch him eat this crepe. And then at the very end, after he licked all the whipped cream out of it, he said, "Dad, I'm done with my crepe." I just thought it was so funny because he didn't eat any of the crepe. He just ate the whipped cream out of it. So I do need to journal that and put that in here. So that Post-it notes needs to stay there. And like I said in the first video, I'm hoping that doing this album flip through will remind me of these things that I meant to do, because we came home from the reunion in July and I just put these on the shelf and I haven't looked at them since. All right. We always do family Olympics at our reunions. This house had a fabulous backyard, and so it was great to use it for that. I believe that most of these layouts, or many of these layouts, are based on a Fast2Fab page technique by Chrislyn Matei, and I will try to find that video and link to it. I don't remember if it was a video or a CM blog post, but in any case, I will try to find that and link to it so you can see how she did that. But we took the Fast2Fab pages, 1 pack of the Sweet Summer paper. We cut it with a 12-inch decorative trimmer. And she only did 4 layouts in her video, and then I had to just kind of figure it out for myself. But it just tied together this whole theme of the family Olympics together, and I really liked the way it turned out. This is also part of why this ended up being 5 volumes. There are 8 kids, 5 spouses. Both of my parents are still living, 25 grandchildren. So something like 40 of us. Two of the grandchildren weren't there. I think everybody else was there except the 2 grandchildren that weren't there. And so I wanted to get everybody, not just my husband, but my little sister's husband and my other sister's son, and all the people. So I put way more pictures in this album than I would do if this was just my family album, my little family's album, and these were just like the neighbor kids. I wouldn't care so much about having pictures of everybody, but I feel like as the family historian, which is kind of the role that I've taken upon myself, I want there to be pictures of as many of the people as I can. So that is my excuse for why I have 5 volumes of this family reunion. So again, that same kind of technique from Chrislyn's video with the Sweet Summer, and again, ignoring the photo mats. I think there's a photo mat right here, and there's a photo mat, and there's a photo mat, and I just ignored them, completely ignored them. And this is the pre-printed pages. It doesn't have anything to do with watermelons, but I had pre-made the first few and following along with her video. And I just like to cram as many pictures on a page as I possibly can. So these are all in the Fast2Fab, and then I tried to kind of interrupt each of the the family Olympics activities with just pictures of the family, which I put on cardstock. I don't know that it really worked to divide it up. I mean, I think the whole album is pretty much, well, not the whole album, but all the Olympics part are in this same paper pack. but hopefully it does give enough division between the events of the Family Olympics. And actually, I know that Olympics is like trademarked, and so maybe we need to call it something else, but we call it Olympics. The three-legged race, easy enough. I mean, I just, this is pre-printed on there, and then I cut this with the wavy trimmer, and then I crammed a whole bunch of pictures on here. And then I kind of kept the same thing going, even though on the Fast2Fab pages, this one, oops, I skipped one. There we go. So this one is purple with the pink. This one is orange with, I put a little purple on it, but I still kept that same kind of design. And then this is the teal with the little corners. I just kept going. All still the three-legged race, because look how cute they are. The little ones with their arms around each other trying to balance. It was so delightful. And then here's another one that's more, although this is the Fast2Fab, this is kind of a break between the two activities, just people sitting, a few devices here and there, a paperback book. My dad loves to watch the Olympics, but he's not much to participate in them. He was 85, I think, 86. Anyway, old enough that he doesn't have to play if he doesn't want to play. Donuts on a String is always one of our favorite games. I need to journal about this too, because usually we buy the cheap donuts, like Hostess donuts or whatever. This little resort town didn't have a cheap donut place, so we bought these Dunford Bakery donuts that were like expensive. They were like $12 for a half dozen. So we bought all that the little grocery store had, these super expensive donuts, and half of them ended up on the ground. So I have lots of pictures just of like people lining up, getting ready to eat the donuts. All right. Oh, here, I did write that. We usually buy cheap donuts for this game. I want to put that on this page right here. And I really love this one. This is the Circle Chain Border Maker cartridge. I'm sorry to tell you that it's retired. I hope you got it when it was out here. I thought it was perfect for the donut pages. But this is the Fast2Fab with the stripe. And then I stuck this paper on and then put the, oh no, maybe the paper was, oh no, that's printed on. Sorry. That's the Fast2Fab, and I put just the border on across. And then I just crammed in as many little donut pictures as I could and a few little circles in here. And again, tried to get a lot of different people so that it's not just, my kid, here are my two kids, but then, each of the families, I tried to get as many of their kids as I could, so that everybody, when we come to the next family reunion, they'll find pictures of themselves. And someday when there's the next generation, we got grandkids and stuff, they'll be able to find their parents in here. More donuts on a string, fun pictures. We have a bunch of us that go around with our phones and our cameras taking pictures. And it was so many good pictures. I probably only printed maybe 15% of the pictures that we took. Thousands and thousands of pictures were taken at this family reunion. And I really did limit myself to not printing all of them. Oh, here's another donut page. This is kind of the end of the donuts. Whoever finishes first gets to, is the winner. And sometimes when the kids are just done trying to do the donut on the string, and we'll let them help themselves with their hand. More donuts. I don't think I realized how many donut pages I did, but I love them. And then here's a little Bennett with donut paper, powdered sugar all over his face. And I love this. This is a picture of my mom that my daughter took. So here's my mom with her camera, and there's a donut in the foreground. And on this one, the camera is focused in on my mom, and on this one, it's focused in on the donut. So I put a peekaboo pocket so I can put both of them. And then, the little After Effects picture. So these are all the people they're kind of done eating the donuts. And, you always think, I'm never eating a donut again, but turns out you can eat donuts again. All right, so again, here we have like kind of the solid, just kind of random pictures of throughout the day, which might or might not have been chronological. I just had extra pictures. I didn't necessarily know when they had happened in that day, but I wanted to put them because I wanted to have as many pictures of our family as we could. And this mama turkey and her little babies that walked through the yard next door. All right, the paper airplanes. And I'm seeing, again, I didn't really journal what these activities entail. And so maybe that's, I think I really had hoped when I put the Post-it notes with it at the reunion that other people would write some things, and they kind of didn't. But I guess I'm the journaling girl, so I'm going to be the one that has to do it. So the first page is basically us making the paper airplanes, showing off the paper airplanes, flying the paper airplanes, and then kind of some paper airplanes in the air and the aftermath of the paper airplanes in here. So this would be a great place for me to do some journaling. I really wanted to find a paper airplane, like a little clip art. I thought about making little folded paper airplanes, a whole bunch of them, but I didn't have time. So that may still happen, you know, someday when I'm caught up, then I'm going to come back and finish this. But I may journal even though I'm not caught up. This was a layout class that I had taught. I had done a class with Mermaid Cove, which is my favorite paper pack, but I always like, whenever I design a layout class, to try it in another paper pack. And so I did it with picture this, I think. So I just had this pre-made layout, and I think when I designed it, I had meant for it to go in the other direction, but I turned it upside down. Except this, otherwise this would have been upside down, so maybe not. So this is one that uses the circle cutter. You guys know I love the circle cutter. But these are just all the pictures of people with cameras, except for, well, this one, Katie does have the camera, except she's asleep in the chair. So all of us going around taking pictures. Egg on a spoon. That one's pretty self-explanatory. And again, I tried to get, I mean, these are all different people, but I wanted to show everybody, especially the littles. They're just so cute. And they're not, they don't stay little. So like this year, I mean, they're still cute, but they weren't quite as cute in 2024 as they were in 2021. Some more egg on a spoon. I have no idea who the winner is. You know, this is like that, what's that game show where the rules are made up and the points don't matter or something like that. And another one. Oh, and then this one's really fun because here we have an egg that broke. And so we have a little bit of a slimy, dripping egg, which I thought was fun. And again, this is that same fast formula that Chrislyn designed. I might have, in fact, used 2 packs of the Fast2Fab pages for this. Later on, I run out of them and I have to use regular pages. This is a layout that Donna Guest taught me. She has done this in one of her videos, and if I remember, I will try to link to that. But it's a super easy with just the banners and the black and white, This Life black and white. In hers, she used red and I used the aqua, and I think it works perfectly for just these random close-up pictures. Some great pictures of people that I just love so much. One of our favorite games is the Oreo game. I don't know if you've ever played this game, but you put an Oreo on your forehead, and then you have to just, by moving your face, you can't use your hands, you have to get it into your mouth. And so everybody makes funny faces, and so those of us who are not participating, maybe because we're trying not to eat the Oreos or just because we love to see everybody's funny faces, take a lot of pictures of the people, and again, all the different people. So this is just the background, and the only thing I added was this little chevron border. And I think I've shown you guys the chevron border before. If not, I probably need to, but they're just triangles. So this, you take squares, cut them in half, and then you put 1 point on one side and 1 point on the other side. Maybe I will do a separate, like a separate video sometime of just a quick video of, a quick tip of how to make a chevron border. But I use it all the way through, kind of the same, a bunch of pictures in circles. So again, these are those Fast2Fab pages where one of them is orange, one of them is white, or this is kind of purple, I guess, and then one of them is orange again. But I tied it together by the circles and the chevron border. And I think it works well. This one is kind of the disasters of the Oreos falling off. I hope you guys can see this. And then here, I think we get to the end. Oh yeah, success, where people have, gotten the donut, the cookie into their mouth. Katie always throws hers up in the air and catches it in her mouth. Ta-da! And then of course, there's always a few Oreos left over to eat at the end. And boy, it's exhausting to eat Oreos. So this one is just some pictures. Katie was playing with some strings and it was cute, and I needed some filler things. So just kind of a random page. This is the dotted diamond chain border maker cartridge. This was maybe a gift with purchase this summer, and I did the same thing that I did in the last album, whereas instead of lining them up exactly, they punch out the same way in the border maker system, but I like back here they're probably trimmed so that I could stagger them. So instead of having the points be together, I could make this little chevron gap spacing between the two. This I think is also bold and slate. Just this is the deck. So any of the pictures on the deck, I think I used this bold and slate for. Pretty sure this was also a virtual crop sketch. I really should have made notes of that. I'm sorry, guys. This is the water balloon game. This one, my goal was to get as many pictures on a page as I could. I'm still using those pre-decorated Fast2Fab pages, but I kind of didn't do anything with them. These are cut aparts from Sweet Summer, and I put those 2 on there. And then the pictures, I kind of cut them, you know, all into 4x4s, but then I cut some of them smaller. So you don't just have a wall of pictures. You know, here, this one's full 4x4, that one's full 4x4, that one's full, that one's full. And then these I cut a little smaller, and those I cut a little smaller. And I think it worked really well to cram a whole bunch of pictures on these pages. This one I did leave bigger than 4x6 because I liked it a lot. But that same kind of technique, this kind of a 9 square, but each square is a little bit different. And again, just the papers, the cut aparts from that Sweet Summer. This one is maybe a project recipe. I don't remember. But just Cassie had fun playing with the camera and taking pictures. And this is Birthday Bonanza paper. I don't remember. I think this was not something I came up with on my own. I think it might have been a virtual crop sketch, but just with the banners. And I think, yeah, I think the original one, they had maybe pictures that way. Again, I just ignore the photo mats. I do what I want. All right, now we get to the watermelon eating contest. I got to tell you, I love this one. I did cut all of these little watermelons using the circle cutter, and then I pieced them and stuck them together. There are a couple watermelon stickers that were in the Sweet Summer. I just made a border. This is just cut with the scallop. And then I had to do a couple more pages of the watermelon eating contest. So I made some more watermelons. And this is actually a fold out on both sides. So I have a big watermelon down there. But I feel like this pink paper, you know, it's kind of pink and island waters. It's not necessarily exactly watermelon color, but it matches the sticker on the watermelon right here. So just using, oops, this one's poking out. Just using the, you know, just using the circle, the custom cutting system circles. I'm sure I used the custom cutting system because these are tiny little watermelons. So you just stick them together and then you cut them into wedges and then you got watermelons galore. Yep. And a few more watermelons. And this one worked well because this was that kind of the pink paper, but more watermelons. I fit all of them in here. And then these are the people who finished first. So all of these little word stickers mostly are from Totally Tonal. There was one for each of the 12 colors. A lot of the words were the same, and there just wasn't family reunion. There's no sticker that says watermelon eating contest, alas. Sunflower seed spitting. My brother and my husband are usually in charge of the games, and I don't know where they come up with them, but this was pretty fun. Everybody was handed some sunflower seeds and then to see who could spit them the most. And I ended up with pictures that you can see the little watermelon seeds in them. I don't know if you guys can see the watermelon seeds in them, but I love this one. It's a little bit blurry, but boy, he was getting into the watermelon seed spitting. Sorry, not watermelon, sunflower seeds. And so not, you know, people's maybe their best look, but very cute and very fun. There's one with a little seed. There's the seed. There's the seed. So who knew that would be like a life skill to be able to spit sunflower seeds? So much so that I did 6 pages of it. But again, everybody, you know, trying to get all the people, the pictures of everybody. And it was just such a fun part of our reunion, the Olympics. All right, now we're kind of done with the Olympics, and this is where we're tie-dyeing our shirts. So the shirts from the title page that I showed you, that logo, you can kind of see it in here. And in here, we got them white with black lettering. I had them printed by my t-shirt guy, and then we tie-dyed them. And so in a future volume of this book, you're going to see the finished tie-dye. This is like our new thing. We're going to do this every time. Again, I use the Sweet Summer, and this is the beaded ovals chain, and it looks so cool with this striped paper. So I don't know if you can see, but I think it looks really, really cute with this striped paper. And I'm 99% sure this was a virtual crop sketch. And so then I just kind of mimicked it, and you can see that same, you know, with the diagonal stripe paper, and then the, you know, the beaded ovals design. Anyway, so I love how this shirt, here are the shirts baking in the sun. We put them in bags and we'll have to leave them in the sun for 6 hours or something. And just bake them out there until you're ready to wear them. And then the slack line, my husband had seen this on, I don't know, TikTok or something. And it's just like a tightrope, you know, in a circus, but it's not as taut. So there's a little bit of give to it. So we just tied it up between poles and people had fun playing with it. And I think I might have made this layout up myself, where I just, you know, the background paper is green, and then I left this at 4 1/4 and cut these different sizes to put the pictures in, just based on how I could crop them. And then we did 2. And this was the Feeling Bright. This was a secret box collection from 2022. This was the one that came out in June of 2022. And this one I even put 2 little small ones. And then, you know, wherever my husband goes, he takes his ukulele. My daughter brought her guitar, and the 2 of them were out here singing. And then my husband came, and then, you know, my sister and my sister's kids came, and then more people came and more people came. And it was just really fun kind of how this evolved. And so this is kind of at dusk, but it was daylight. So I did it on white shimmer paper with blue Starry Night shimmer for the music notes. But then we kept going as it got darker. Thankfully, there was not anybody staying at the house behind us on that night. So we had a lot of freedom to be as noisy as we wanted to. And, you know, we weren't that noisy. And then this, as it got darker and darker, I moved to the Starry Night shimmer paper with the white. And I feel like I got a lot of pictures on here. I kind of tell the story. I didn't journal anything, and maybe I need to. Again, I didn't do any journaling, and how dare I be showing you these scrapbooks, but I will. I promise I will journal. And then the last page is just a random page. I needed to have a single page. So the rental house had a Miss Pac-Man game in the basement, and the little 3-year-old was the one who liked to play it the most. So people are always trying to help him. All right, so this is volume 2. And again, the videos are long enough that I'm going to do them each separately, and I'm just going to stagger them a couple of days apart. So come back in a couple of days and I'll have volume 3 for you. And there are 5 of them. So if you want to wait till they're all posted, I guess it's too late for me to tell you that now. But if you're watching this later on, there are going to be 5 of them, and I'll label them all with SmithCon. Probably, I don't know how I'm going to label these, but here you go. Choose Joy, Family Reunion Album, Volume 2.